Good Sunday. Happy Sunday to all of you. This reading I actually want to do for the spiritual community. If you're not a spiritual worker or practitioner or one that believes that they are, it's fine. You're still welcome. It's actually important that we're all assembled here because this is a message for the congregation of the spiritual community, practitioners and patrons alike. I want to do this reading to see what is the energy coming towards the spiritual community, because there is a shift. Even with myself, there has been a shift to the way I operate and how I have been feeling inclined to move forward. And I've just been noticing things since I decided to become a part of the online spiritual community. And I even feel a little alienated from that because I feel like there are so few of us genuine people who, outside of social media, before social media existed, if you're older than social media, then we existed too, operating the way we are. And even if social media goes away, we won't change who we are and what we do. There's a handful of people like that. And I believe that we are the ones who get lost in the sauce. Simply because I don't believe the whole of humanity is truly looking for spiritual evolution. I think that people on a whole run to spirituality or religion when it's needed for them. But is it something that's conscious at all times of our lives? Even today, in this world of everybody doing candle magic and everybody being a witch or a bruja or whatever, it seems as though there has been more chaos since everybody has begun experimenting. And I'm not saying this in order to turn people away. But what I've learned is that we're treating the spirits are being treated as if they're not beings. And I just want to see what is coming to the spiritual community, because I smell something afoot. It's going to affect not just people who consider themselves spiritualists, but also the people who patronize us. I want to deliver this message to the spiritual community. So let's just see what I get, because I don't know what message it is to be delivered. I just feel like it is one. Most High Mother and Father God, and shout out to all of my practitioners, readers, diviners, whatever you call yourself. Subscribe to my channel or just watching this video. God bless you. And shout out to you. All right. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this day, this Sunday. Thank you for this gift that I truly believe that was given to me at birth and not in glory. This gift that I received in shame a little bit. This gift that I struggled with, that made me have to go through very, very, very hard life lessons in order just to birth this gift. I thank you for the people that acknowledge this gift as something that is given from God and join in it with me, because this gift is to be shared. I thank you for the souls that you have placed into my life that are not just clients, but a part of my soul's tribe and community. Each person that hears the sound of my voice, each person that patronizes me for a service, I thank you for them. I thank you for their souls. I thank you for their lives. I thank you for the light that you placed inside of all of us that has attracted us together. I thank you for YouTube, for being a platform where people like me can share freely, semi-freely. All right. Ashe, amen. Spirit, in humility, I ask to divine a message to the spiritual community from the divine, to practitioners, to people who patronize us, specifically for those who call themselves spiritual practitioners in any of the forms: diviners, readers, magicians, witches. Can you deliver me a message to everyone in the spiritual community today, as it has become bigger than what it's been in the previous years? Where is it heading? And what would you have me to say to any practitioner who comes across this, or anyone that is member of the spiritual community that sets themselves up as some sort of authority in the spiritual community? What message do you have for us? Spiritual, religious, what message do you have for the spiritual community? Where is it headed? What message do you have for it, Spirit? All right. This is my typical spiritual card. I get this card often for myself. In the past, when I've asked, what is my purpose? I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. And it always comes back to this. There are some people that are truly divine beings here on earth. Not everybody is normal. Not everybody is regular. Just because you see a human doesn't mean behind that avatar it's same. What we do is meant to be able to help spiritual beings in a 3D world. That's what we're here for. This isn't the Hierophant card, which would be religion. Teach them because they need to know, and you are the authority to teach. No. None of us should be positioning ourselves as anybody's authority. Ain't no pastor on this card. There isn't that. As spiritual practitioners or leaders, spiritual leaders, our jobs are not to indoctrinate. Our job is to assist spirits in human form exist in both realms at the same time. That's it. We have one foot in the spiritual realm and one foot on earth. So some of us who are genuine in our gift are really angelic or higher beings just in human form. And that's how we're supposed to operate, not as anybody's authority. And nobody is supposed to submit themselves or their spiritual well-being to any leader. That is not how the spiritual world designed it. We all have access to the divine, and not one person should we submit our power to in order for them to dish it back out to us. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it's supposed to. Help them evolve. Help them reintegrate their spirit matter and their physical matter, but do not indoctrinate them. That's the purpose of us being here, operating in this gift. The problem is we should beware, because this is the 9 of Wands, the card of ambition. And right before the 10, we have almost become overburdened with people chasing their own ambitions within the spiritual and religious community. Beware, because there are very few people operating in religion or spirituality that are ordained or called to do so because of their ability to be humble and genuine. Beware. Beware. And not only that, this person has been crippled, beaten, and abused by people in the spiritual community after their own ambitions, that we have picked up this abusive form of spirituality as well. Most of us call it Christianity, because it's the mainstream religion today. Most of the people in it are chasing their own ambitions, and even the version of it that we cling to was given to us from someone from their own ambitions. That's why we're crippled holding on to it. We're standing on the same thing that crippled us in the first place. The Fool in the past position, we have all, as humanity, been led as fools by conquistadors and colonizers. These were people leaving their Caucasus Mountains. I'm sorry to you white people, but this is how the Spirit gives it. These are people leaving their mountainous, cold regions for the more warmer regions under the sun, where most Black and brown and Native people inhabited. And they did so because they wanted to survive, or they wanted emancipation, or whatever. It's cold and barren where they were. But over in the distant lands, in the warmer areas, the land of milk and honey, of resources, unfortunately, those lands were inhabited by people who look like me. And one of the main forms that they used to conquer these people and their lands was a form of spirituality that led us all down a wrong path. In the near future, most practitioners of religion and spirituality who are not genuine will be doing everything they can for a coin. More than they want to give, they will ask or demand. This is a miser. So as the world tightens up, those who make and earn their living in this community that I believe are not sent by the heavens to be here, you will see them bunker down on doling out products. Hi, Mystic Girly. You're in my DMs right now on Instagram. I'm about to read your message as soon as I finish this reading. They'll be hunkering down on demanding coin more than you see them give. That is a sign to know. They want you to patronize their shops. They want you to purchase their spells, their candles, their products. Think about the people that you've patronized. Do you feel like you gave them or you paid for their service but didn't get anything meaningful? Because in the near future, everybody's going to be worried about their coins. Even me, not in this way, not in the miserly way. I am going to hunker down and invest more in Beyond the Veil. But that means I give more as well. And I will never tell all the ways that I give, but if you know, you know. Pay attention, because in the near future, you too, you patronizers, you'll be just paying people for stuff, and they'll be taking from you without giving you things in return, including churches. Taking tithes, but the spirit is almost completely gone out of the church because it has been abused in the church. Be careful. Be careful for merchants in the community. Lawsuits. Lawsuits in trouble. Now let me look at the bottom card first. If any spiritualist is getting lawsuits or anything like that, or getting into trouble in the near future, like public trouble, legal trouble, it's because you don't operate in this realm the way you should. And so there is no spiritual protection. There is no safeguard around you that makes people beware before they come for you. People don't take you seriously. There is no touch not a head on my anointed. That anointing isn't there. So if any of you are facing litigation or are getting into it because people are exposing you or anything like that, it's because you're not supposed to be positioning yourself and operating monetarily the way you have been. It's like the spirit is not with you, so it does not protect you. A lot of the spirituality that has been spread throughout the world came from dark and indigenous people. I'm not talking about religion. Religion came from the colonizers. They didn't really know spiritual evolution until they encountered the indigenous, native, colored, dark people, the original human beings. That's where the world gets spirituality from. I don't want to make this a race thing, but there needs to be an acknowledgement of the original humans. Because whatever spiritual systems they got directly from their source. If you are a hoodoo practitioner, now hoodoo is a closed system, meaning other races or people who are not diaspora are not at wholly welcome by the spirits in hoodoo, because hoodoo came from slaves. So the problem is you're trying to enter a system empowered by people who were oppressed. Now, if you walk into this system all willy-nilly because you think that it's cute and it's cool, but the spirits that you want to help you acknowledge you as being a descendant of an oppressor, what the fuck do you think is going to happen to you? I believe that the true oracles were dark, not Greek, I don't believe those gifts were birthed to those people. I believe those gifts were birthed with the original human beings, the first human beings. And they were of darker colored hues, and they were in warmer environments. And it showed by the melanin in their skin. We've had things taken from us, and now people profit from spirituality. They've made religion from spirituality. And now the oracles and visionaries that people listen to and allow to pour into them are not even the true ones. Not saying that you other races don't have gifts, but there isn't even an acknowledgement, because your people had different religions. They had different gods and stuff. So when you get into spirituality, where did you learn that? Where did your ancestors learn it? It was taken from darker colored people. Spirituality was, not religion. And you guys still praise those people who most of the time wouldn't have known how to tap in and have their gifts if it weren't for the work that Indigenous ones have already put out for them to learn from, or your ancestors learned from them. The wheat will always rise to the crop, though, amongst the tares. Because when people leave us, they don't feel like they just paid a bill and now they're broke. They leave us feeling like they've gotten invaluable help, guidance, or service. I see an exposing happening in the community. No longer will the frauds be hidden. You'll be exposed, slowly but surely. There is a fear. There's a fear. There's lots of fears. Fears of those who know that they don't have a gift. Fears of those who know that they don't have a gift online. Fearing things that they've said about celebrities that they know have no basis of truth in it, so they're scared. Scared of how they got the information because it wasn't from their gift. Scared. Even those who have fake gifts online, those who are motivated even off of line, people in the spiritual community that have been motivated by their own ambitions to get into the spiritual community without being called, whether they say it or not, there is a fear growing because of how the world is changing. And I feel like that fear comes from your own spirits. You know that things are changing for those who aren't real. There's a fear in the world. Even in churches, they preach fear. I was watching Armand Wiggins' video yesterday, and I just let my mouse hover over it as I was working, but then I quickly changed it because I was there for the commentary, but he started out talking about his manifestation book, and that piqued my interest. I listened to him. One thing I noticed is that in selling his book, he placed a bit of fear in there by saying, if, and this was a disclaimer as well as fear, if you don't get results, then it's something that you're not doing right. It ain't me. It ain't me. It's something you're not doing right. In church, if you don't get into heaven, it's because you're not saved. Even if you were born unsaved, and it's not your fault because you were born that way. If you don't have the luxury of getting to know Jesus and deciding to give your life to him, you might as well have never been born, because you were born just to be condemned. That is the same disclaimer that was given. As a spiritualist, I do not preach fear or condemnation. I don't talk about results. I ain't never not gotten results, no matter what the person does. I don't need you. A lot of you guys get services from me and say, what do you need me to? Nothing. Rejoice. Thank God, as if it's already done. Sometimes, if I'm doing protection work, recite Psalm 91 3 times before you go to bed, just as an extra measure, but I don't need you to do shit. Big Mama got this. And I don't need you to do shit for me to be successful in what I do as a practitioner to you. That's my job, to know how to get results no matter what the client does. Now, there's ways y'all can fuck up what we doing. So that disturbed me. I didn't even know that this man, I thought he was just a blogger. Beware of the community. People are parading in this community because it seems like you are easy prey. Have any of you ever told your clients, you don't need to spend no more money with me? What you need is a cleansing bath, and I don't even want to give it to you. I'm going to tell you what to go get. You go get it. Do it like this. Take a bath, and you don't need no readings from me no time soon. You don't need to go to this person because you've picked up a spiritual STD by patronizing too many people. I had this conversation the other day. I did a consultation with someone, and they were telling me about all the different practitioners, and it's because their spirit and heart is in a good place. They just want to get right. And this person says they can get you right. This person says they can get you right. So let me go and get all the help I need. That is not the way to do it. Because you pick up different psychic debris from each person. What if they ain't doing their own stuff right, but you're giving them authority over you? And then after you go and meet with these people, your life falls apart. That is a sign of bad hygiene, of dealing with somebody who's given you a spiritual STD. That's what they're passing around today. And the world is full of chaos because of it. And they fear. In this age of being exposed, especially as most people online that are readers and stuff do celebrity readings, how many of them are scared? I wonder if that one most infamous now, because every time I'm on the Shade Room or the Neighborhood Talk comments, I see that lady's name and I get annoyed because it's us. Hanging on to every word that she be borrowing from other people or from someone who gives her tea. Allegedly, though. I think at one point in time, the gift was real. I also believe that when you hang around celebrities or when you're in their close proximity, it's easy to pick up information about them and pass it off. But what do I know? There's a fear, though. Well, this is a good thing for me, because sometimes, or in the past, when I was staggering between real estate and beyond the veil, and I would be thinking, I'll go really hard on real estate. I was structuring beyond the veil around my real estate career. So I would take appointments based around the things I had to do for real estate. And I've been doing that up until maybe last month or so. But on days when I would be like, okay, do I need to do real estate today or do I need to do a reading? If I pulled a card and asked that question and got this will be telling me you need to go do some readings for your channel. And then I would come into a reading when I get this card. For me, at least for one person that's genuine, I can't speak for everybody else, but one person that's genuine, and that's me. This card means that for my audience, you guys will be getting more content from me. And I said so. And the reason for that is because this spirituality was not where I made my living or wanted to make my living. Today, it is not what I want to do as my main career. But you guys want to know what's happening to me. My real estate career is at a standstill. Even though I've done okay for myself, I have probably had the most difficult first 2 years in real estate than anybody. Full of challenges. I got off on the wrong foot as soon as I started partnering with other people in real estate. I made my first 2 deals by myself before I met Natasha. I met Natasha at our brokerage. I've always been one who doesn't like to make friends out of coworkers. But I spoke a word into her because she was going through a lot. And then she clung to me in such an endearing way. But I noticed that when she became a part of my life, things changed. I didn't get any more good sit. I think I got one more after that while I was at that brokerage. And it was with another friend of mine. And we stopped being friends after that. It's like when I decided, and Natasha and I weren't a team in real estate. We were just good friends. And so we were always around each other. But my success in real estate eventually trickled down to a halt. Hi, Jess the Dawn 13. You're commenting while I'm recorded, so I'm shouting you out. Until ultimately it accumulated in the breach of contract and me, them trying to go behind my back and force me out of the company that I started with Andrew, and I brought Natasha along because I didn't have enough confidence in myself. That's why I suggested her. Anyways, my real estate career has gone through so many changes. The more I try to keep it as my priority, if I continue doing that, I'll tell you guys this. My license right now is void. I'm waiting on the state to reestablish it, because when I did my post-license course, the school, for some reason, they're typically supposed to inform the state that you took your required post-licensing class. Well, they didn't do it. I took the class, got the certificate, but for some reason they didn't communicate that with the DBPR. And so my broker got a notice that my license was voided. And so I called and they were like, you didn't do your post-license education. I said, the hell I didn't. I paid for that class and I completed it in August. I got the certificate right here on my computer. They're like, great. If you can just fax it over to us, we'll go ahead and take care of that. Fax it over to them. It's still void. I called on Friday to ask what's the holdup, and they was like, it takes a while. Just keep checking back until it's reestablished. But we did. They gave me the date that they got the certificate that I faxed over, and they're like, just bear with us. But when that happened, I thought, you know what? This has to be a sign. And so this is why I decided to sacrifice. This is difficult for me. It's also the reason why I've been pushing back my channel membership and Patreon, because devoting more time to this means devoting less time to real estate. And that makes me nervous, because real estate is how I've been banking on making my living, not by doing this. But Spirit has railroaded me, because always put everything over my purpose. And I have been on a continuous hamster wheel of 10 steps forward, 20 steps backwards. Every time I try to continue putting this business to the back seat, when it's the one thing that I was born with, that I've always known about myself. So this is good for my audience because you'll get more content from me. I don't know if I can speak for every other spiritualist or if Spirit wants me to continue to do it. Look, Spirit had to change my perspective because I was holding on to trying to have a normal career. And I have been. I've started many businesses. Some of them have failed. Some of them have been successful. That's the life of an entrepreneur. But I've been so afraid of my own talent and power and shining that I'd rather try to find ways to not be the main character that I am. My success and my perspective of what success means had to be changed. It had to be changed because I was thinking that I was going to find success in selling homes. But to be honest, I found the most fulfillment and success career-wise doing this. Clarify the Page of Cups. Toot toot beep beep. I'm one of the OGs, one of the real ones that you can bank on. And me deciding to invest more and beyond the veil will bring me the overall success that I desire, for tapping into that Cancer energy ruled by the moon, that moon divine intuition. That will bring me the earthly victory and success that I desire. Dedicating myself to doing more readings. It's not real estate that's going to bring me. Not a regular 9-to-5 job is not going to do it for me. And that scares the out of me today. And I have had many setbacks trying to do things the traditional way. I'm reading myself right now. I have just recently had a tremendous loss with my business partners in real estate that not only was a tremendous loss to me, but it affected my health. The trauma that it brought, the betrayal, it affected my health when that partnership ended because I kept thinking that my success was in real estate. I was wrong. So one of the wheat is rising to the top because I'll invest more. I want to look into these cards because I need to see this for myself. I need to see this. And I don't read cards on myself. I don't ask the card shit about myself anymore because I ain't good at it. Everything is negative. Only when I can read myself in front of you guys while I'm reading another situation, because I have a different level of faith when it comes to what God does for other people. But I'm learning to love myself a little bit more. This is me having so many challenges, trying to have a traditional career, trying to balance beyond the veil in my businesses with somebody else's business and upholding theirs for mine. When I've been meant to do this all my life, I've been on this journey. I was not only born for this, but my life has been training. My entire life, my entire 37 years has been preparing me to do this. And I have had a very isolated, lonely life. Surrounded by a very large family, even they will tell you, Dina was always kind of by herself because of where I'm positioned in the age groups of everybody. I am old enough to hang with my older cousins and young enough to hang with my younger cousins and sisters. that kind of placed me as a loner because everybody else was clicked up with everybody else, their age group. And I had tons of time to spend alone with my spirits, even as a child. And that life I lived made me strong for this. Not confident like a lot of people think I am. Brave. Strong. Not without fear, but brave. And I needed that because, and I've seen this card for myself before. The last time I asked, what am I going to do for a living? After I lost the Winning Team Realty, this. Not anything traditional. Not anything where you got a boss. Or you have to take other people's things into consideration before you move how you move. Unconventional means you will create your own destiny. It won't be traditional. And you needed a lifetime of training for this to make you strong enough to do this in a world and in a family where if they can't see you clock in to somebody else, they don't think you being productive. When the odds are against me in both realms, physical and spiritual, take somebody strong to follow the path that they feel guided to follow. That's why I'm here. So for my audience, it will be well with you. This is me, Libra, finally getting it. That it ain't in me partnering with other entities that will bring me success. It's when I follow what I know to be true to me. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, though, because that's the rest of the community in shambles or in a little bit afraid because of lawsuits. These other online psychics, because of Jay-Z and his attorney calling out fake psychics, some online psychics are afraid of getting sued. Getting sued by people in the industry because most of them talk about celebrities on their channel. 5 of Wands in reverse. I believe that was them taking this gift from Indigenous peoples. I don't believe it was passed down genetically through a lot of people who have set themselves a part of it. Online, maybe? Seeing people online where you don't have the genetic gift. Watching, this is somebody online I'm talking about. A lot of practices that a lot of people do now, they learn online. But these practices come from Indigenous people. Some of you guys are trying to do rituals that are getting you effed up. You're online trying to learn how to do rituals and magic with deities and spirits. And there is bondage and chaos being had in this magic that people is doing. The devil. Patronizing people, women, readers that don't have real gifts. Dios mío. These people are doing juju, going to real practitioners to get juju done in order to boost up their online careers. And the way that they can do that is by preying on gullible people who think that they have real gifts. Now, if you guys want to test me and see if I'm genuine or not, you guys can stop patronizing me too. If some of you are like, well, how do we know you're any different? If you have any inkling in your spirit that I'm not genuine, I implore you to no longer patronize me. All right, the Temperance card, I'm going to end there. those are the people who are meant to do this work, who are meant to be doing magic as well. The temperance card. Remember everything I said about the purpose of us spiritual practitioners. And those who haven't been doing it, we're the ones who are qualified to wield the wand of opportunity, the magic wand, because we're not really doing it to make money, even though we have to get paid. We do it because we're the page of wands. We're supposed to. But here's the Ten of Wands. The majority of us have been overwhelmed and overburdened by practitioners with their own ambitions, and the advice they give leads you astray. Worst case scenario, disconnects you from the true divine advice that you could be getting. Overall, moving forward, message to the spiritual community, to patrons and practitioners: be careful, because the spirits have not overlooked. I just got a history lesson, and they went all the way back to when the world was being colonized by the Spaniards and the other groups of Europeans and Caucasians that decided to leave their cold and barren places for more fruitful places of milk and honey, where there were already indigenous people there, where they conquered them with indoctrination and death, and then took their spiritual practices and benefited from them, but then hid them from the people so that they couldn't have them back. And to this day, that happens. People like me who have real gifts. I'm going to have this gift if I'm not on YouTube, if I'm not online. My gift has made space for me, not the other way around. So I can't speak for everybody else other than the fact that there is trembling and shaking amongst the religious and spiritual community because of lawsuits flying, liabilities, and exposés. But you know who ain't worried about it? Me. You know who's about to take their 9-to-5 career and put it to the back burner and do more of this shit? If I was afraid, I'd cling to real estate. And I'm terrified of doing this because I don't see this as a way of making a living. And I got to make a living. But I also have to be accountable to the spirits. I'm not going to be in this world and in this body forever. And I'm going to have to account for the time that I spent here. So no matter what sacrifice I'm getting ready to take, and no matter where it leads me, I go afraid, but I go. It's in my heart to do, so I'll be dedicating myself more and more to consistency. Yeah, I'll do celebrity readings too, because that gets the people here. But you know how much more I do? You know how many people I don't charge for readings that are open to call me anytime they need? I have people who I include in every ceremony that don't have to pay me, but I will always, for the rest of their life, include them in every ceremony that I do. So, in closing, as you see more of me, and after I just told you guys that you'll see more of spiritualists looking to make money, if you feel like that's me, feel free to not patronize me. I don't want you to go against your own, what your spirit is telling you to do. But be careful. I don't even need y'all calling me every week. As much as that would be good to my pockets, you don't need me every week, because I give you in one consultation something good enough, unless something pops up that, in that case. But I don't have any client that calls me every week or anything like that. And if they do, if they just got stuff going on in their life, we'll work it out. But once it's worked out, you're good for now. Relax. Take this cleansing bath. Start taking it once a month if you need to, and then relax. Because now we've got you through that. So now you can relax. Look for spiritualists who give and not just take. Because in the coming future, your pastors, your preachers, and a lot of the spiritualists are trying to get their coin, because it's tough out here in the world, and that's how they've been making their living. Not off of the gift and the purpose, but off of y'all giving them your coin. Be very careful is all I say. Religious and spiritualists. Love you guys. Bye.